Good morning. Good morning. I didn't give you a lot of time in terms of preparing to be with me this morning, but in refilling from last week and getting prepped for this week, I discovered a passage that was beneficial to me, and I thought I'd share it with you. And it comes from Exodus, the 33rd chapter, the 12th through the 14th verses. And Moses said to the Lord, see, and I'm reading from another translation, the Amplified, but it says, Moses said to the Lord, see, you say to me, bring up this people, but you have not let me know whom you will send with me. Yet you said, I know you by name, and you have also found favor in my sight. Now, therefore, I pray you, if I have found favor in your sight, show me now your way, that I may know you, progressively become more deeply and intimately acquainted with you, perceiving and recognizing and understanding more strongly and clearly, certainly my prayer, and that I may find favor in your sight. And Lord, do consider that this nation is your people. And the Lord said, my presence shall go with you, and I will give you rest. When we uh, live close to God, and that's our desire, like Moses did, certain things, without a shadow of a doubt, follow. First of all, God will say of us, I know you by name. And that's so significant. The question might be asked, doesn't God know everyone by name? And of course, the answer is yes. But there is a big difference in knowing people's name from knowing them personally. And when God calls us by name, it means that he knows us as friends. And on the other hand, there are many people who know God's name, but don't know him. And that's a question for each one of you. Which one of those categories do you sit in? And God yearns that we become personally acquainted with him. He doesn't like it when we are distant from him. It's a sign of indifference. And one of those ways that we ensure that we are close to him is through prayer. And so I want to certainly impress them the importance of being on a prayer call on tomorrow evening. And another result of walking closely with God is enjoying his favor. That B clause in that scripture, the 12th verse says, you have found favor with me. And to find favor with God is to actually be a source of pleasure of him. And God is pleased with um, those who possess qualities um, that he approves of, such as godliness, holiness, and faithfulness. God's grace is for everybody, but it's only the godly who will win favor. And so, are you living on a grace or favor level with him? Man, what an opportunity that we have, especially during these difficult times, to find delight in him. And a third result of walking closely with God is actually enjoying his presence. It says in that 14th verse, my presence will go with you and I will give you rest. Moses was afraid that God would abandon the Israelites because they had worship the golden calf, lost focus, become indifferent, unfaithful. Can I put it in present day terms? At church sometimes, absent at other times, faithful in tithes and offerings one Sunday, but forget about him for several months. Call and check on people 1 week. Totally ignore everybody the following week. Just a lack of consistency and faithfulness, not honoring, living up to our responsibilities or the expectations of the positions that we have in the church. But God assured Moses that for his sake, because of his relationship, that he would lead the nation onward. I know without a shadow of a doubt that we are being led. We're being led forward, and not just as a church called St. Luther, but all churches especially in this city. If not for that, we could not have survived or would not survive. But many of us are not only surviving, but we're actually having a good time and really being blessed in the Lord. But we can't do it without his presence. And let's not make light of what he's already done. But we can't do it without his presence, and we can't do it without his help. And so thankfully, both of those things, his presence and his help, are promised to those who live and cling to him, to his word, to his promises. And I pray that you will be satisfied and be fulfilled in the rest that God promises, and that you will feel uplifted by his presence on this day. Again, thank you for sharing with us, or allowing me to share with you on this morning. Be blessed and enjoy the rest of your day.